Hello and welcome to TCB for EAP. I'm your host, Jessie Mallory, and today we've got a lot to talk about. What do we have to talk about this week, you ask? A lot of news. Elvis Week is fast approaching as well, and I'll be coming to you direct from Memphis with some photos, video, and whatever else I can come up with. As always, please hit that subscribe button below and click the little bell icon next to it to be updated when I post new content. You can also find us on Facebook. Just click the description below to find the Facebook link, along with all the other links. This show is proudly sponsored by Designs by Lynn, Elvis Tribute Artist Scarves. Show quality satin scarves made to order, no minimum purchase required. Check them out today on Facebook at Designs by Lynn, Elvis Tribute Artist Scarves. Our first article of news comes from Memphis, Tennessee. Two men are accused of pretending to be housekeeping staff to enter rooms at the guest house at Graceland. Officers were called to the hotel around 6 a.m. Sunday, where a security worker relayed complaints about men entering rooms posing as housekeeping staff. He said he saw the suspects driving towards the exit, and police were able to detain them. The security worker told police one of the suspects used to work at the guest house at Graceland, but was terminated and banned from the premises. The guest house at Graceland clarified that neither suspect was an employee. They were contract agency workers, one former and one current. The hotel said it is terminating its relationship with that temp agency. Police said one of the suspects had a master key card in his possession, as well as stolen property. Security footage actually showed two suspects went into multiple rooms, police said. The guest house at Graceland said the stolen property was returned to the guests, and the controlled access system was reset right away. Police did not give the names of the suspects. So if you have rooms there for Elvis Week, I'm sure everything will be fine, and hopefully nothing like this will happen again. Our next news story is about Dr. Nick. For those of you who are not familiar, Dr. Nick was Elvis's personal physician. For almost 40 years, Elvis Presley's personal physician, the controversial Dr. George Nichopoulos, aka Dr. Nick, lived in this house. Elvis helped design it and pay for it, and the King's fingerprints are easily seen throughout the home. The home's distinct design features a racquetball court, an indoor atrium, and uniquely colored shag carpeting. The home was furnished in 1976, 1 year before Elvis's death. Now, you can own it. The East Memphis home on Cottingham Place has been listed for sale. The 6-bedroom, 6.5-bathroom home carries a price tag of $549,900. That's no chump change. After Elvis died, Dr. Nick became one of the world's most controversial doctors, as the world learned the massive amounts of sedatives, amphetamines, and narcotics he prescribed to Elvis. However, it wasn't until 1995 that Dr. Nick, who died last year, was stripped of his medical license. With a price tag like this, the realtor admits it would need a large investment on top of that to be brought up to date. The home was owned by the Nichopoulos family until June 2016, a few months after Dr. Nick passed away. The family sold it to a mortgage company for $650,000. Some people in the Elvis community do not like Dr. Nick. They think that Elvis bought him, like he was in the pocket of Elvis's every whim. Everything Elvis wanted, he got from Dr. Nick because he gave Dr. Nick extravagant gifts, homes, cars, money, you name it. And a lot of people say that Elvis did that in order to get his prescriptions filled. And no matter what the relationship was between them, Dr. Nick, Elvis wasn't the only one that Dr. Nick prescribed like that for. Many other celebrity information came out as well of Dr. Nick overprescribing for his patients. And that's why he lost his license to practice medicine. Dr. Nick did release a book kind of telling his side of the story as far as his relationship with Elvis. I've read it. It's an interesting book. You should check it out for a little deeper insight into that whole situation.
Well, it's a project like you've never seen before. It's Pringle's Projects.
Today on Pringle's Projects, Marc is sharing his replica of Elvis's 1956 diamond dot shirt. Marc hand drew every single dot. Man, that is some serious dedication to detail. Talk about hand cramps. and maybe even eye cramps, right, Marc? Marc went to Memphis one year and wore the epic diamond dot shirt. As he walked into an elevator at the Heartbreak Hotel, which is no longer in operation, he saw an ad hanging on the wall, with Elvis wearing the same shirt. Elvis seemed to be checking out Marc's threads in this photo. I'm sure he'd approve, or maybe ask if Marc stole the shirt. Elvis wore this shirt casually as well as on stage. He also wore it during the Steve Allen Show rehearsals in 1956. Marc sure does have an eye not only for detail, but for the lesser-known detail. Not all Elvis fans notice what Elvis wore and when, so this is a real treat for them to delve deeper into the abyss that is Elvis knowledge. Thank you, Marc, for another fun project. We can't wait to see more. Montez Bilquist had it all mapped out. On an April evening, long ago, the 15-year-old was on a quest with 3 teenagers from Jamestown. There was Montez's best friend, Ann, and Ann's younger sister, Pat, and Karen Sampson, another teen Pat asked to come along. In the parking lot, Montez decided she could find a better view than the one promised by the $1.75 ticket in her hand. She said to the others, "Come on, let's sneak in." While the younger girls declined and went to their seats, Anne immediately decided she'd take part. For Montez, it was a fateful choice. It would cost her a boyfriend, but it would earn her a place in legend. That was April 1st, 1957, 60 years ago. The performer they went to see? Elvis Presley, of course. Before the show was over, he'd reach out from the stage to hold Montez's hand. She'd turn into a central figure in some unforgettable photographs that captured Elvis on his knees, singing directly to Montez during his final song of the night. She took comfort in the loyalty of her best friend, Ann. Montez lived in Fairmount Avenue, Jamestown. Ann's family had a house on the far side of the backyard. They walked to school together. As teens, they'd go to Perry's, a soda fountain in Jamestown, and listen to Elvis on the jukebox there. The girls figured they had no chance of being there when he performed in Buffalo. But one night in 1957, at the dining room table, Roy calmly told his daughters he'd bought 4 tickets. He offered to drive them if they wanted to go. They were ecstatic. Their tickets were for seats deep in the arena. On the night of the show, once the girls saw Roy drive away, Montez and Ann got moving with their plan. They were already guerrilla veterans at the art of sneaking in. When Lucille Ball and her then-husband, Desi Arnaz, visited Jamestown for the premiere of the film Forever Darling, the girls found a way into the hotel where the couple was staying. They came upon Lucy in a housecoat and asked for her autograph. Lucy signed for them and then told them to leave. She was not pleased. Hey, at least she signed the autograph. All anyone could have done, Ann said, was to kick us out. But no one did. Montez and Ann pushed up to the stage, shouldering for a spot alongside police officers, photographers, and stagehands. They watched as Elvis triggered a shattering explosion of noise that Sylvan Fox, a Buffalo Evening News staff writer of the time, described as incredibly ear-splitting screams and a fervor of arm-waving from more than 10,000 people in attendance, primarily teens. Occasionally, Montez recalls, Elvis would look down and catch her eye as he sang. She kept holding up a piece of paper to him, hoping he would pause to sign it. Yet what he did for her in the big picture was far more memorable. Indeed, this is how Fox described her role during the climatic version of Hound Dog that ended the 30-minute show. Elvis, Fox wrote, moved violently about the stage, clasped the hand of excited Montez Belquest, 15 of Jamestown, threw himself to his knees in an impassioned gesture, and ended the song and dashed from the stage. He ran full stride down the ramp into a waiting auto and was gone. Robert L. Smith, a photographer for the News, captured the moment when Montez reached toward Elvis, when he dropped onto his knees and sang for her. After the show, back at Jamestown, Montez wrote to Smith and asked for a print of the image. The photographer obliged as an act of kindness, she said, and a copy of the photograph, which ran for the front page of Saturday's Buffalo News, still hangs on her wall. From the instant Elvis sang to Montez, her life was never exactly the same. She said she was mobbed by fans in the parking lot who wanted to touch the hand that Elvis held. Back in Jamestown, she received so much attention in high school and from other regulars at the jukebox shop that her boyfriend who felt he could not compete with Elvis, broke up with her. She never saw him perform again after the show in Buffalo. She said, "But I felt really close to him. I came from a troubled family, and his music always soothed me." Montez sensed a connection. She knows Elvis had almost nothing as a child, and he was raised amid harsh times in Mississippi. She hangs on to the photograph that shows her reaching toward him as he sings, as well as a pencil drawing of his face that she bought years ago. On the day he died, the 40th anniversary will be this August. She felt a sense of grief, almost akin to losing family. In a way, maybe he was. Montez finds a certain lasting power in the idea that in Buffalo, in a hall filled with more than 10,000 people, at a time when she believed she had no status in this world, the king of rock and roll made a statement on her worth. He took her hand, fell to his knees, and he sang for her alone. That's it for this week's show. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the program. As always, please hit that subscribe button and click that little bell next to it to be notified when I post more content. Don't forget to like our Facebook page as well. You'll find all the links to everything in this video in the description below. I'm your host, Jessie Mallory, and I'll see you on the next episode of TCB for EAP.